Okay. And all right. We have 16 minutes of filming time. Okay. So Jacob has just brought in a violin he's purchased, which is my Opus 4. So it's a violin from a long time ago. The first time I've seen this for a long time. So we're just going to do a quick tap tone survey. First we're just going to check on the plates, get an idea of how even the plates are. They're not too even. But let's see, this would be the average. It's okay, let's see what that is. That's what we'd like it to be. That's not very far off. Okay, that's a pleasant surprise. It's about 176, but it's not even. So we'd like those to be even, but I'll put that down. Top plate, 176, uneven. Okay, to make it even, we'd have to basically take the top off, which we're not too interested in doing right now. Okay, in the back plate, again, just make an X from the corners. Mm-hmm. That's what we'd like it to be. So it's about 195. If this is basically a useful reference point. It sounds a little bit low, but it is, so I'll put it down here. 195, back plate, and let's see how even that is. Okay, that's fairly even. Alright, next feature, again we just stop the strings with your fingers. Mm-hmm. We're going to check the neck frequency. We'd like that all to be the same frequency, and we'd like that to be the same as the top. Okay, sounds a little bit high, but it's even. Let's see how that works. We go just a little above it, a little below it, and that looks like it's about, call it 182. So I'll get that down here. 182, neck. Approximately even. Alright. Next we have to know the frequency of the scroll. That's its tap. And you can kind of get an idea again. We can use the top plate as a reference since it's right at our goal frequency, 176 on average. Okay, sounds a little low. Let's find out what it is. So we want it to be, which is a little bit higher than it is. It's not way off, is it? Alright, so I'd say it's 159.5, so that's pretty close. 159.5. Scroll. Now we'll see the two sides. And the tap in the middle averages the two sides. They're pretty close. I'd say that's even. Okay, what's next? Alright. An important part of the sound of the instrument comes from the fingerboard frequency. And again, we'd like it to match the top. To the top, just slightly lower, and it seems like it's about 175, which is real close. Fingerboard. Okay, it's fairly even. And the reason we like it to be even is so when you're playing the finger and strings all have the same kind of response. Okay, let's do the bridge. That bridge looks pretty slight when you can see it there. But let's see what it is. It looks like about 187. We'd like it to be there. Alright. And one way we can raise that up, if you look at these there's a little knife cut right here on each side, and they call it a maker's cut. By closing that up, gluing it a little bit, that'll raise the frequency of the bridge up. And this is one way to deal with that. Okay, so it's not way off, so it's close enough. So we'll call it 193. 93 bridge. Alright, and another way you can do it is just use the top since it's at a goal frequency. You hear it's a little bit low, even though this is higher than the top. It sounds like it's too low. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the tailpiece. And we're interested in the waist area, which would be, kind of see it, kind of necks down. So that's the frequency we're interested in. That should also be the same as back 198. Okay, so that's about 195, which is about what the back is. So that sounds like it belongs, but it sounds a little low, which it is. So 195, that's also the tailpiece. Okay, now there's another, and this is going to seem funny because you see he has a tailpiece with all fine tuners on it, but we're still going to use this string bar, this little ebony block of wood that goes across, to get the frequency of that. Again, stopping the strings. Because whatever this is, the strings will pick up. Okay? So we'd like it to be the same as the top. Sounds low, so let's move in that direction. Move low enough here. That's lower. So it's actually down about 163, if I get that right. 163, string bar. Alright, now this is important for response. We want to, when you start to play a string, you want to respond right away, and this needs to match the top if it's going to get quick response. So, alright. The saddle is this ebony block of wood that goes across. And we'd like that to also match the top. Okay. It's just slightly low, we'll call it 174. 174 saddle. And the end pin also has an important part in the how clear and how steady the tone is. That'd be too high, that'd be too low, somewhere in between there. So we'll call it 174.5, and compared to the top, slightly low, that's just what it is. Okay, and you have 174.5 in pin. Alright, so we still have about 6 minutes left on our filming time. Let's go ahead and check the frequency of the sound holes. We'll do the left sound hole. Again, we're going to blow just right across, and we want that to match the 176 for the top. You can try it. Call it 171. So I'll put a note down here, 171, sound hole left. So it sounds a little bit lower, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Alright, so compared to the top. I'll call it 168. It's 168. Sound hole right. Okay, I think we're running out of things to measure. Okay, what we'd ideally like at 161, we'd like the scroll to be at 161. It's very close. Then basically, all of these things, the string bar, the sound holes, the saddle, the end pin, the fingerboard, we'd all like those to match the top plate at 176. Top plate is at 176, so we'd like to bring these in line. And the neck is slightly high, we want to bring it down. And the three things that should be at 198, you got the back a little bit low, we'd have to open the instrument up to change the frequency a little bit. And the bridge needs to be brought up, and the tailpiece needs to be brought up slightly. Okay? So I think that's, the string, the bass bar we're interested in too. And of course the bass bar, see, it kind of runs right along inside here and supports the left side of the bridge. And you can kind of tell if the bass bar is right by just tapping across. As you go over the bass bar, you'll hear, you tell it's a little bit low because the tone's going down. You like it to match the top plate. So we'll just tap right in front of the bridge, right where the bass bar is. A little bit low, about right, a little bit high, a bit low, so it looks like it's 170. Okay, so I add that, 170 bass bar. Okay, and bass bar, of course, is one of those things, if you take the fixture, take the top off, you could just replace the bass bar. Unless it's real close, and then you can just shape it slightly different. It's actually close enough, probably just tapering a little bit more on the sides. That'd raise the frequency up. Okay, so that's our tap tone survey for the Opus 4 violin.